the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Last year I was sitting at a desk as a sales manager, and now I'm official McLaren F1 simulator test driver.
So it's 1.4 behind.
This opportunity is huge.
That's faster than the factory McLaren driver, and he's done 6 laps.
Let's go race.
Hello race fans, and welcome to Phoenix International's Raceway for the final race of the round of remainder drivers of 6. And we got one more race to go after tonight, which is Homestead Miami Speedway, and 3 drivers will advance to fight out for a championship. Welcome to 3Y TV. I'm up here in the booth, Tanner Sharp, and right next to me is Justin Kolb, and in back there in the production truck, who's not in Kentucky anymore, just Carlos Acosta. Justin, Phoenix International Raceway is a 1-mile speedway, but it has its own unique challenges. Tell us about the speedway.
Well, tonight's really going to be interesting because it's going to be the old configuration of Phoenix, which if you haven't raced on there, it's a little bit more bumpier. feels like some more banking in turns 1 and 2, and most importantly, there's not going to be any dog leg for us to cut here tonight. I mean, you can try it, but it's just grass down there, so it's not the preferred line. But you know, this may be a track where a lot of guys don't have too much experience, and it can make it that much more interesting here tonight as these guys try and learn it in practice. They did have a practice session earlier in Thursday, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys attack the track, and it sounds like tires are going to be a little bit of an issue too tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 to 10 degrees of banking in the corners of the racetrack of turn 1 and 2, but practically flat in 3 and 4. And like you said, there's no dog leg to cut through unless you decide to pull a Dale Earnhardt and do a pass in the grass. But I highly do not recommend that whatsoever. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and talk about the championship standings here. This is the last race for the remainder of 6 drivers here. Let's kind of pull up that chart here, give it a look. I got to pull up Justin's picture here that he sent me. Chuck Sweeting has advanced since he won Chicagoland 2 weeks ago. Cameron Rich has 43 points. He is practically in. Paul Ross is 11 points up, but still has a shot at it tonight. It all comes down to Kevin Finn, who we've seen already advance on the last races before in the playoffs. And you also have Johnny Thomas, who's tied with Kevin Finn, and Sam Close, practically a must-win situation. I mean, practically a must-win situation for all these fellas, except mathematically, Paul Ross can be knocked out. So it's still not safe from the 3rd place on down. So this is going to be a very interesting race to watch here tonight, as all these drivers are going to be fighting the challenges here. The air temperature here is 85 degrees out in the desert. The track temperature is 95 degrees. So yes, it's relatively cool, but as the tires heat up, it's going to be slipping and sliding like it's ice skating.
Absolutely. You mentioned the points. It's just really racing for one spot at this point. Cameron Rich been so strong throughout the season, both regular and postseason. Basically a lock to Homestead. Going to try and get that first championship next week, and it's really going to be, like you said, the fight for 3rd. Paul Ross has a bad race here tonight. It's going to be anybody's game. It's going to be really interesting to watch.
And Paul's a veteran of the Cup Series and also the league itself, and he knows how to get this done. It's just that right now it kind of feels like almost like he's in a bind right now. He's not 100% safe. He could lose out mathematically on points. He's just got to beat his other competition here tonight and have a safe night here at Phoenix. So with that being said, we got about 12 minutes away till practice is over with right now. Justin, Phoenix is going to be a challenge. What sections of the track is going to be the most difficult?
Well, you know, this is honestly the version of the track that I don't have a whole lot of experience with.
Right.
Smart production having a little meltdown back there, but turns 1 and 2, I think definitely off corner number 2, going to be a bit of a challenge. Just the way the car slides up towards the wall, it's going to be pretty easy tonight to overdo it and get into that wall. And really off turn 4 as well, just knowing how rough this racetrack can be, how quickly you can lose the grip in the tires. I'm really thinking that off the corners are really where you're going to have to pay the most attention with the car and how it's feeling.
As Justin has stated, this is the old version of Phoenix International Raceway from 2008, so this is the bumpy version of Phoenix, but you still want to continue to drive like it's the new one. The only difference is you can't use up that dog leg. You got to really take it conservative into the corners. And turns 3 and 4, man, as the race goes on, the line's going to move. It's probably going to be on the bottom at first. Majority of the time, it should be on the bottom. But watch for guys kind of search for that middle groove to try to get that run on corner exit. Down in turn 3, you can use that apron for rotation to help turn the car much better as the tires wear off. And of course, we got a 75% fuel load here tonight, and it's not so that's about 60 laps on a tank of gas. So it's going to be a very interesting 90, especially with qualification or practice times really, really close, about hundredths of a second separating majority of them.
And you were speaking about lines. We've already seen, you just saw it a second ago there, we're already seeing some guys move up a little bit in 3 and 4. Like you said, normally they're on that yellow line. Well, you're seeing right there, Cameron Rich taking the middle to high groove there. Saw Race Clark do that a little bit earlier, and it seemed like everyone's sort of following him up there, and it seemed like that might be where the groove is here tonight. Did not expect that, but I have a feeling that that's where we're going to be racing around tonight.
Will pit road be an issue here tonight for these fellas, Justin? Because sometimes when you're coming around that arcway down in turn number 1, it can be very difficult to see your pit box, and it can be easy to overdrive.
Absolutely, and it doesn't help that pit road is basically in a corner, has a curve in it, and that can be a little bit more difficult should pit road be filled up. To see your pit guy there, see your pit sign, could easily miss it there. But the one benefit they're going to have here tonight in terms of entering pit road, it's a pretty wide pit entrance, and you're not going to have a whole lot of room for error in terms of speed you're carrying going into pit road off corner number 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Drivers right now going through a driver's meeting, kind of going through all the rules what you can and cannot do here. So otherwise, I would like to do the grid walk, but I'll do it once the driver's meeting is finished here. Justin, you never really raced here, or not had a lot of experience, you said here. If you were racing out there, my advice to you is treat it like it's the repaved Phoenix. It's just that understand that the tires are going to wear more, and you don't have that dog leg. And that's what we're going to see here tonight. Tire wear can probably get as low as 60% on that right front. So be very careful as far as pushing the car, to the max.
Absolutely, and basically the only other difference is the bumps in the track. Personally, I mean, the only racing I'm doing here so far is Delaware Dash on iRacing, but really, if there's any sort of different bumps in this old repave, haven't seen anybody hit it yet, but I have a feeling should we get into the race and people start to get more and more spread out, people may start to find some bumps in the track that they didn't know were there, and could definitely offset the car. So, I mean, like you said, other than that, it's basically the new Phoenix, except for those 3 changes.
If you're one of the championship drivers, Justin, let's take Paul Ross, for example. He's 11 points ahead of that cutoff line. Let's throw you in his shoes for a minute. What's the goal tonight in trying to continue to keep that gap so you can assure yourself to Homestead next week?
Realistically, if I'm Paul Ross, you have to go for the win. Because anything other than that, and you're eliminated. You got Cam and Rich there, basically mathematically in just about 43 points to the good. It's gonna be pretty tough to knock him out. But only 3 guys advancing to Homestead. You're on that final bubble spot there. You have to go for that win. There's nothing other than that you can do. You can't really hope for good points night tonight, because should one of those 3 below, Kevin Finn, Johnny Thomas, or Sam Close get the win, you're right out of it. So you really have to go for that win here tonight. Really all 4 of those guys, Paul Ross and then the 3 below.
All right, driver's meeting is officially concluded, and I do believe it is safe to say we can go ahead into grid walk. So, Justin, which team we talking to tonight?
Why don't we talk to 3OG and the man who probably has the most pressure on him, Paul Ross?
All right, I'll let you kick it off.
Hey, 3OG Racing, this is 3YTV, the grid walk. You guys got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Doing pretty well, and Paul, not to put the pressure on you, but you're the first man in there. Cam Rich, basically on his way to Homestead. Talked about it a little bit just before we came in here. Probably going to be a win tonight, and I don't think there's going to be much hoping for a good playoff or a good run here tonight.
We have an 11-point buffer, so as long as we can get some halfway bonus points, and as long as one of the other guys don't win, we should be good. I can't remember the last race of the last round, but we had a 21-point buffer, something like that. We got 0 halfway bonus points, and it ended up coming down to just a couple points and making it in. So hopefully we get bonus points, get a solid top 5 finish, and try to keep these other guys out of victory lane. Unless it's Sam.
Sam, do you have a copy down there?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
All right, well, you're really the one who's looking like he's going to need the win the most there, in 625 points out of the cutoff spot. That car feeling like a race winner tonight?
It feels good. It's really, it's a tight race car, but we're just going to work with it the best we can and give it a go. I got a feeling I'm going to be doing better than, at least do better than Chicagoland. Had a rough couple weeks here, so just putting together a good finish would be a win.
All right, well, we wish the both of you the best of luck here tonight. Tanner, where do we go next?
Well, before we go, I gotta say one thing to 3OG. This might be a little controversial, and if I get yelled at for saying this, I'll totally accept it. Guys, trump them.
Get out of here! Ah!
All right,
All right, let's go down to Kevin Finn. Let's talk to Kevin Finn, Avon Racing. Kevin Finn, you got a copy?
I do.
All right. Well, aside from 3OG attempting to trump everybody here, you you won Texas to advance yourself to this round. I mean, can you do it again tonight?
I sure hope so, but I don't feel that confident in my speed tonight, but I'm just going to lay back and see how the race plays out the first maybe 75, 100 laps, and I'm trying to make my way through the field. Hopefully bring home a W, that would be great, but be more realistic. A top 5 is where I'm shooting, but I'm 11 points out, so I guess I got to win tonight.
I know you can do it, and Richard Hines, you're in this field tonight, but you're not in the playoff, but hey, you can still go for the wins there, Richard.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. All right, Avon. Every time I think of Avon, I think of shampoo or whatever it's called. Anyways, best of luck to you guys. Justin, who are we going next?
Oh, why don't we go down to Eisentech Enterprises where we got Race Clark down there?
Oh boy.
Hey.
Shoot him up, Justin.
3Y TV, the Gridwalk. How you doing, man?
Okay. Oh!
All right, yeah. All right.
Well,
all right, Race. Let's calm down for a second. Real talk.
Cool.
How's the car feeling here tonight, man? You got a great scheme on there.
Honestly, the car's great, Justin. I'm great. Everything's great. I'm a little randy right now, but the car is feeling great. I'm thinking I'm bringing home top 10. Heard it here first.
All right, sounds good. We wish you the best of luck here tonight, Race.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo!
All right, let's go down and talk to Johnny. All right. Well, Johnny Thomas, 3Y TV, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right. Well, 11 points out of it here tonight, tied with Kevin Finn. What's it going to take tonight, man?
No, man, we just got to win tonight. There's nothing else to it. If we don't get the win, we're not going to advance. But I like these flat tracks. I like Richmond. I like Iowa. Both these are pretty flat, and Phoenix is flat. So I like these flat tracks. Who knows what could happen, man? If we get caution with 10, 15 laps to go, anything could happen. So I just want to put myself in position right now. We're pretty quick, so maybe something will happen. Who knows?
I like it. And looking like you said, you got a fast car there, up in third on the time charts right now. How's it feeling?
It's good. The car's tight, but I like it. I think tire wear is going to come into play. Fuel probably won't come into play at all because we can go a lot of laps on fuel. So it should be all right. I think it's going to be a fun race.
All right, Tan, you got anything for Johnny there?
Just go trump him.
Oh.
Okay.
That's the third time he's said that, by the way, here tonight.
I'm gonna try to win it.
All right. Well, Johnny, you got that paint scheme out there that you won with that season, the Chesapeake Diecast season, and so far it's brought you some pretty good luck, and hopefully gives you some good luck tonight.
Yep, thanks, Tanner. I hope we get to talk to you guys again, and hopefully in victory lane. I want to go to home.
All right, sounds good, Johnny. Looks like right now the time we got no more time, so this ends it. Thanks, Johnny, and best of luck to him as we head back up to the booth. All right. Now, with that being said, we got about 20 seconds until practice ends. That'll lead into qualification. And Justin, keys to Phoenix here tonight. It's probably going to be starting up front. And sounds like a lot of those guys that we talked to are pretty confident here tonight for unknown reasons.
Yes, and really, like you said, going to want to start up front. And I feel like if you're the playoff members here tonight that aren't locked in, Paul Ross, Kevin Finn, Johnny Thomas, and Sam Close, can't afford to start at the back here tonight. You got to get up as far front as possible. Don't know if there's going to be any incidents towards the back of the field, really anywhere through the field, so you want to get up as close to the front as possible. I feel like it's going to be the goal for those guys tonight.
Yes, sir, indeed. And there's no way right now I'm calling this ISM Raceway because this is 2008 Phoenix. And it's a totally different racetrack, and it still will forever be Phoenix to me. But with that being said, you got a pole predictor?
Man, the 56 of Tate Lytle was up on the top of the board in practice, but I'm kind of liking Johnny Thomas. I don't know if he can win the pole, but it definitely looks like he's got a fast car and he knows what he needs to do to win here tonight.
We got a sponsorship for that pole, I do believe. What's your note sheet say?
These guys are racing for the Drive for Suicide Prevention pole award here tonight. Gonna be paying those out here pretty soon.
Yeah, $1 each pole, man. I mean, rack them dollars up, make it rain.
Heck yeah.
For sure. So,
right. We riding on board here with Paul Ross.
Paul?
Is this his first time lap?
Oh man, it would help if I click on the right one.
It was his first time lap, 16.901 puts him to the top of the board.
26
over Richard
yeah.
Hines.
26.8 was the fastest in practice trim. I expect somebody's gonna throw a 7, and Paul's really good at throwing something though. That was really good how he cut it.
Oh, got the wall.
Yep, that lap ain't gonna count.
Oh wow, there's Cameron Rich's 26.720, 2/10 up on Paul's time.
I said somebody was gonna throw in a 7.
Yeah. Good prediction there, and I mean. Cam Rich is on the roll the whole season. Why not on the pole here tonight?
All right,
it's not
here's
over
the
yet,
guy.
but
Johnny, I can't believe is he retiring after a season, or at least from Cup? He's coming back for one more. All right, good, because I still got the race against this guy yet. Coming on. Oh, that was a really good arc off turn 4 there, and almost hitting the outside wall, but that's okay because that's where you're going to create your speed. I think he messed up the entrance turn 1. Might cost him some time. Yeah, he did. He tapped the wall, and that's not going to count.
Yeah, either way, that's going to be a disqualification on that lap. I feel like tonight, though, it's going to be pretty easy to overshoot turn 1. Just the way you have to enter the corner. It's almost a bit awkward in a way, and I feel like you're going to see quite a few guys here tonight miss that a couple times.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and apparently the lap counted for Johnny Thomas. That put him in 3rd. I'm kind of shocked by that.
Maybe he didn't get a contact. Maybe he didn't get contact from iRacing, but still got damage. I'm not sure on that one, but
before they hit the wall, and he had damage before that.
Yeah. Either way, 3rd on the board. Looking strong so far.
Pretty
3rd in practice, 3rd in qualifying.
Now, I always mispronounce his Tate Lytle's sponsorship here.
I feel like I'm going to be in the same boat.
Oh, he goes for a slide down in 3. Now, that's another thing to watch for is your brakes. A lot of these guys are going to be setting the brake bias. And when you have the brake bias maybe set a little too low, that back end of the car can kick out. Man, this is like the 5th driver I'm seeing that hit the wall off turn 2.
Said it before, I felt like it was going to be a little difficult. Just the way you come off that corner, it's just so easy to overdrive it.
So far we got Rich, Ross, Thomas, and Close, and Salmaso. Man, 3 OGs on a roll. Yeah, 3 of them in the top 5.
Good to see Sam Close up there in 4th. Didn't have the greatest Chicagoland.
He needs it. It's if you're Paul Ross and you help organize 3OG racing, you're kind of in a bind because you're the last driver to make it to the final 3 for the championship, and behind you in the standings is your teammate. What do? You know, you still got to go for it. Tate Lytle, second.
For Tate Lytle. Definitely looks like he's got a fast race car here tonight. Top of the board in practice.
Chuck Sweeting.
15 seconds to go.
Now Sweeting's going to have a fun day today.
Yes. Puts him second. Chuck Sweeting. He's got nothing to lose. He's already punched his ticket to Homestead. Already booked his hotels and everything. He's ready.
I booked mine. And it's over. So, Justin, give a shout out to our pole winner.
Cameron Rich, going to be your Drive for Suicide Prevention Pole Award winner here tonight. Chuck Sweeting going to be starting right next to him on the front row. It's a pretty stout front row there.
pretty quickly here, we're going to be able to go to grid here, and I do believe it is safe to say to go to grid. So yes, sir, you just called it. With Cam and Rich on that front row up there, just looking through the qualification grid and see who really qualified summer, because I'm curious if these championship drivers got close, who actually was in 6th. You know, Paul Ross is up there. It's going to be tough between those two drivers, but is it safe to go to grid now there, production truck? Okay, as Justin said, Cameron Rich, Chuck Sweeting on the front row. Tate Lytle is going to start in 3rd. Paul Ross will start in 4th. Johnny Thomas, who we just spoke to earlier, driving his old famous paint scheme in the league, will start 5th. Sam Close in 6th. Luis Salmaso is going to start 7th. Matt Hackathorn in 8th. Nathan Velez in 9th. Good qualification for Nathan. And how about Race Clark in a top 10 starting start, Justin?
Yes, sir. Richard Hines is going to start just outside the top 10 in 11th. Richard Lafferty in 12th. Mike Stevens will start 13th here tonight. Jordan Teal will start next to him in 14th. Nick Miller in 15th. Chad Brown will start next to him in 16th. Rusty Webb 17th. Wade Lear in 18th. Levi Zielinski will start 19th here tonight, and Dylan Hickey will round out your top 20.
Blackjack position, David Wilson's going to start 21st. Kevin Finn in 22nd. Corey Lindsay, who's up there in the officials booth, not racing tonight. So Todd Smith will be in 23rd and final driver starting this race. 200 laps, 55 miles an hour is pit road speed limit. And we do have a halfway bonus. Top 10 drivers get paid out bonus points, but we still remain green flag racing. We will not stop the race for anything unless they decide to wreck.
An easy lap to remember here tonight, lap 100.
Yep. All right. Man, I tell you what, we got Paul Ross, Johnny Thomas, Sam Close. Who's the other driver? I'm trying to...
Kevin Finn.
Kevin Finn. There we go. Thank you. I forgot Kevin. How did I forget Kevin? Where did Kevin qualify again?
Tell you what, Kevin Finn, in a must-win situation last time, he came to one of these elimination races at Texas, won that thing, moved him into the round of 6. See if he has to pull another one here tonight.
Kevin Finn, starting in the back, 22nd, did not take a qualification time.
I'm not a huge fan of that, but maybe he just missed the... go something, but...
Well, we got a little while to figure this thing out, so we'll be keeping on those drivers as the race goes on. Coming through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is going to dip down in there. All right, buckle in your seatbelts. Last race of the remainder of 6, and then we have the remainder of 3 at Homestead. Cameron Rich leads them to the green.
Good jump there, too. Chuck Sweeting looks like he'll fight for second with Tate Lytle there. Paul Ross got a little checked up just behind that.
Did you see Chuck Sweeting get a nice run off the high side off of turn 2 back there, now going through the dog leg down into turn number 3. Drivers already getting sorted out. Johnny Thomas trying to look underneath the 5 of Close. Does not happen. Close moves up, actually suppresses Johnny. Cameron Rich leads the first lap for a bonus point.
It wouldn't surprise me if Cameron Rich took the victory lane here tonight. He's just been so stout throughout the season.
Jordan Teal in trouble on the bottom. Did not get a good exit there. He lost a number of positions.
Just in front of Jordan. Just about everyone.
Almost got
up towards the wall.
Almost got a bumper tap from the 64 of Chad Brown. Everybody up towards the front's kind of practically single file. We got Nathan Velez, the first side-by-side battle. Chad Brown going after Jordan Teal back there, but Velez is now falling backwards. Getting passed by Richard Hines, and right ahead of Richard Hines was Richard Lafferty, and Lafferty's all the way up next to the wall.
He's being challenged right now from Richard Hines. Should have the run down the front straightaway. He will, and Nathan Velez going to go to the outside of Hines and try and pick up that position.
Some of these drivers are struggling pretty early going. Actually, the biggest battle is probably back there for about 11th or 12th place. That's Richard Hines back there in 11th, battling with Velez. And then you got Chad Brown underneath that mix, Jordan Teal. Mike Stevens is back there in the Coors Light paint scheme. Is that Coors Light? No. Yes, it is. My bad. I should know that, Mike. My bad. Trying to look up towards the front. Nothing necessarily really happening. Everybody's kind of just fanned out, chilling out.
Looks like Jordan Teal's recovering from his early incident. Levi Zielinski just about lost it entering turn 3. The car was pretty well sideways. Gathers it up and keeps it going.
Yeah, well of a job by Levi, man. He's, I thought he was in trouble for sure.
Check this out.
Yeah, that's a heart-pounding moment.
Yeah, not a position you want to be put.
Oh,
in.
contact! Ooh, Nathan
Mike.
Velez and Mike Stevens.
Yes, sir. Just a little tap.
Yeah, but a little bit of a tap. You can spin out your opponent just a little bit. Looks like Stevens is on the bottom there, being challenged by Nick Miller in the 9, the Hooters paint scheme.
Seeing everybody nose to tail up front, really not letting anybody get away from each other. Top 5 all under a blanket up there.
Yeah, top 5 is just a second between each other, and it's pretty fast up there because they're all running, averaging low 27 lap times up there towards the front.
Is on board with Tate Lytle just behind him. Paul Ross starting to put the
Paul
pressure
Ross
on, got the wall a little bit.
Yes, he did.
And that allows Sam Close to dive inside, pushes up the racetrack just a little bit, runs Paul out of the groove just a tad.
Well, so far, Paul is still in the playoff hunt. He's got to beat Johnny Thomas and Kevin Finn. Sam Close is in a must-win situation, who's just ahead of Paul.
And just like that, front field splits in half, and then entering into turn 1, they all get grouped back up.
Paul's putting that pressure back on there. You just got to be careful not to hit that outside wall because, you know, significant damage to that right front corner panel there can cause the car handling to go away. It can also knock out the toe to where the steering's out of whack. Although it's a very clean start for these fellas, and I was kind of expect maybe there could have been maybe a caution at some point, but everybody's driving pretty good out there at the moment.
So that battle continuing back there. Chad Brown and Nathan Velez. Another side-by-side battle between Kevin Finn and Wade Lear. Kevin's trying to make his way up from starting in the back. 11 points out of it at the beginning of the night. Currently in the 18th position.
Yeah, Kevin Finn, he started in the back, and he's already 8 seconds behind the race leader. Trying to attack Nick Miller, almost going 3 wide here back here, but Nick Miller wisely backs out. Now he's going to go after Wade Lear.
Kevin Finn really just has to be smart at this point. Don't want to put yourself in a compromising position. Just slowly work your way up and maybe hope to catch some lucky breaks.
Well, so far there isn't any lucky breaks right now. He's got a lot of work to do to get if he wants to get up towards the front. A caution can save him a little bit, but speaking of up towards the front, let's go to the race lead. Chuck Sweeting all over the back bumper in the middle of 3 and 4 of Cameron Rich. Cameron actually got a nice little run off the corner exit of turn 4. That seems like where Cameron is actually beating him. I want to see if Sweeting gains on in the middle of the corner here.
Well, I noticed that last time through 1 and 2. You can see Cameron really taking more of a middle line approach where Chuck Moore gets down on the yellow line and dives it in there. And that's really helping Cameron on corner exit. It gets him that much more momentum down the straightaway.
Seeing a lot of drivers kind of fanning out here, Justin, and I don't know if you were expecting this. I was expecting maybe some good old pack racing, maybe some guys making contact with each other, but that is not the case. Some drivers have made contact with the wall already, such as Paul Ross.
Well, you did mention it earlier where it's almost like a little tap can send you around, and I feel like that's going to be the case here tonight at this old style of Phoenix where the grip's not that high and possibly a little tap can send the car around. But it is, for the most part, everyone up basically in a pack. That's one thing that I really didn't expect to see tonight, but it seems like most of the cars up here towards the front all under a blanket.
Well, 16 laps are going to be completed right now, so we're kind of moving by this race in a quick hurry. Each driver now averaging 27.8s out there on the racetrack. Chuck Sweeting was actually really slow last time by the line. He was running in the 28-second bracket.
It's just interesting to see how each driver attacks a corner differently. You saw it right there on board with Cameron Rich, where it doesn't enter right on that yellow line, just enters a half a groove up maybe, where Chuck's almost all the way down on the bottom.
Tires are going to mean a lot here. I'm just curious what their tire wear will be. Last I heard, it could have been about 60%. Here goes Chuck.
Underneath the 17. Cameron should have the momentum off the corner, but
that's that middle
to get a
groove.
nose in there.
That's that middle groove I was talking about. That, you know, when you get that launch on the corner exit, he's still working on though. Still putting the pressure. Oh, he had to back off. He was getting tight.
Very wow, Cameron really up the hill that time.
If you're Sweeting, what do you got to do to get by Cameron?
That's going to be the million-dollar question, but the good thing for Chuck is, I mean, doesn't really have to win here tonight. Obviously, he'd like to, but he's at the 87 of Richard Hines, possibly in the wall. Now, it looks like he's going to get ganged up on here pretty quick. Chuck going to try and get the nose in once again on Cameron. This time it should stick. Cameron's going to get the run down the straightaway, see if Chuck is going to try and get that nose in once again. He will, as Cameron goes up towards that middle groove. But watch Cameron get this run off the corner.
You got to shake him out of that middle groove if you're going to try to get by him, because he is not going to let up.
Either that or maybe just start experimenting like he's been. Try and get up a little bit higher.
In my opinion and experience, the longer you hang on that bottom groove trying to get by somebody, the more you're going to wear out them tires, and the more difficult it's going to be.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, nonetheless, here... Oh, what
like
we got?
Same close, bobbled just a tad. That allows Paul Ross to get to the back bumper.
Do you play nice with your teammates, Justin?
Well, this early in the race, I feel you have to. And I mean, Paul's not really in a position where he's going to lose anything with Sam just one position ahead.
Oh, man, Swing's got a run on Rich there.
To the inside, this is the closest he's been down the straightaway. Through 3 and 4. Cameron really gave him a lot of room there. Chuck's going to clear him for now, but here comes Cameron back on that outside.
Loose. But he officially leads the lap.
Really had to check up there. It almost looked like the car was starting to push tight. Still side by side down the back, though.
Ooh, almost contact there.
He really had to check up there. Almost
But
looked like he got loose into 3, yeah.
Tell you what, these two cats keep playing around up here with each other. That 56 is going to come into the picture and take advantage. He's in that popcorn spot if anything happens to him. And he's bringing along the 5 and the 18. A little bit of an update here. Nick Miller lost. He was racing pretty good, trying to fight himself up to the top 10. He actually lost internet connection. And as well as Todd Smith, who was supposed to start tail end Charlie here tonight, does not start the event.
Oh.
Sweeting again.
Chuck Sweeting gonna try once again. Run off the corner better for Cameron Rich there.
Yeah, at bottom, it worked out. Looked like it worked out for at one point, but I think that was the reason why his camera was so high, right next to the wall. He had a slower entry, but a quick exit.
While that battle is simmered down a bit, oh, Paul's gonna try and get to the. Oh, he's gonna spin Sam close. There he goes down the back. He's gonna save it.
Oh,
a little tap to the rear, and Sam does a heck of a job gathering it back up.
I think I may have pulled the same move on Sam one season at Phoenix. Oh,
Paul
great
just up the
save.
track a little bit and contact.
Wow.
Well, I'm sure he's not too happy about that one, but
yeah, well, thank heavens for with Sam. He's still in the top 10. He's just begging for a caution to try to get some tires on that thing. I think I pulled the same move on Sam one time trying to go for a championship, and he was fine for a championship too. But yeah, you're right. I don't think he's gonna be too happy about that.
while that battle is simmer down, why don't we give a quick shout out to Matt Hackthorne on that 6th spot. Was in the race last night, the Northwest Tour race. Looking pretty strong here tonight. Finished top 5 last night in the 5th spot, and he's gonna look like trying to attack Sam close here to get into that top 5.
That's Luis Samasso right ahead of him for that top 5 spot, and it looked like he had to back off, otherwise he was just going to run over that 4 car.
Oh man, Luis has got some momentum down that back straightaway. Going to go underneath Paul and just about clear him as they head into 3. Should have the good momentum off the corner and will clear Paul.
Wonder if there's any more damage to that 18 car for making contact with the 5. Yeah, there is. He's got some splitter damage. That'll affect the aerodynamics. Yeah. Like, yeah, you were just about to say that could affect his aerodynamics.
Well, now Matt Hackthorne going to get underneath Paul there. He's going to, get some good momentum off middle of the corner. And we'll clear Paul, moves him into the top 5 here tonight. Paul going the wrong way here.
It's not good for Paul, but, I mean, he doesn't want to lose any more spots, even though he's still ahead of that cutoff line right now. He's actually leading that cutoff line.
The guy he's racing for that cutoff spot is right behind him, riding on board with him, Johnny Thomas, as Kevin Finn a little bit far behind, so.
Johnny's been competitive all season long. It's just, you just cannot get a win. And it's just one of those deals where you're really competitive, but you're not winning. You know, it's like, what do you got to do to try to get that win? So this is kind of one of those scenarios here tonight where it kind of forces him that, hey, you got to do something to win a race. Ooh, he overdrove turn 3, almost ran over Paul there.
Really trying to get a lot of speed in the middle of the corner, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you want that hard dive into the corner, but there's a couple flaws. You're going to run over the guy, or you're just going to spin on an entrance because it's too much brakes.
You're watching the battle for the lead once again. It seemed like Chuck Sweeting kind of cooled down the tires. Going to give another run to Cameron Rich there.
He's the only guy that's been able to compete with Cameron Rich here tonight so far.
Yeah, Tate Lytle in 3rd, 2 seconds back of this battle, so they've kind of set sail from the rest of the field.
Can't believe we're going to be completing 35 laps already, so this thing's actually moving really quick.
Probably closing in on green flag stops before too long. Man, Chuck really going to try and ring that bottom. Going to get to the quarter panel, the door of Cameron Rich, and that got pretty close off corner number 4.
Well, Sweeting and both of these cats right here, they have nothing to lose. I mean, you got Cameron, who's about, 43 points ahead of that cutoff line, so he's practically in mathematically. And Sweeting already advanced by capturing that win 2 weeks ago.
Both drivers get a little bit higher there, 3 and 4. About even. Down the front straightaway, see a car on pit road. I believe that is Wade Lear.
It's a little early for green flag pit stops right now. He might have an issue. Did he hit the wall at any point? Yep. Wade Lear hit the wall. He's on pit road. All right. Who are we comparing lap times from the best from? Let's go ahead and do Cameron Rich since he's been working with that clean air all night long. Right now, Cameron Rich is sitting there with the best lap time of the race with a 26.984, and his lap time last time by was a 28.5, so a little over 2.5 seconds. Let's see what he gets right now at the line since he's working at the clean air. Got Chuck off his back bumper a little bit. A little bit better, 28.4. So 2/100ths.
The man who's looking like been putting together a little bit better lap times is right there in second. Chuck has currently the fastest lap of the race there. Not by much off Cameron. These two look like they're going to be the class of the field all night.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree with that. Chuck does have the fastest lap time of the race so far. Excuse me, it wasn't Cameron. Chuck's running 28.3s compared to Cameron's 28.5, so that's 0.2 quicker.
I think he got on the gas just a little bit too early in 2 and saw the surge of momentum he got. Man, just about gets to the rear bumper of Cameron. He really likes sailing it into 3.
He knows he can stay with him. It's just a matter of what can you do to pass him.
Exactly. Oh, Sam Close has just gotten the wall behind this main battle off of 4. Pretty good lick into it as well.
Sam's night just went from bad to worse. And if he's not careful, it's going to turn from bad to worse to ugly.
Man, that was a good hit too.
Yeah,
that's a little worrisome.
That car's starting to limp now.
Almost the same scenario as last week at Chicago, or 2 weeks ago at Chicagoland. Basically what ended his race, getting into the wall.
Jordan Teal, pit road. He brought to the garage. Wade Lear still on pit road. Hasn't officially brought to the garage, but we do have I think it's a 6-lap rule tonight. 11 laps tonight. Okay, so he's got 5 more laps. Lafferty down pit road. Where's Lafferty coming in? Legit green flag pit stops, Justin?
I won't bet against it. We're sort of, well, based on fuel, not anywhere near it, but tires-wise, could see these guys coming earlier as he overshoots the box.
I gotta pull up my track map so I can understand who's all coming in right now. We got Dylan Hickey, number 91, down pit road.
Someone get this man a track map. That was some good fighting there between Chad Brown and Richard Hines. Those two guys have kind of been around each other all night. Richard Lafferty leaving pit road.
Lafferty is 1 lap down. His leader's right behind him, but Lafferty's going to have them tires to work off of. Dylan Hickey is on pit road.
Chucking to really get the power down there. Off 4 once again.
I did say about 60 laps on a tank of fuel here tonight, so
yeah, I mean it wouldn't surprise me if we saw them a little bit earlier based on the amount of tire wear. Cameron Rich a little wiggle off too.
If you're Sam Close, would you want to try to pit early to try to make up some of that position?
Man, I feel like he's putting himself in a situation at this point, getting into the wall there, that I think he's going to have to try and go out of the box at this point. It's still pretty early, but I feel like 25 points out, he's going to have to start to think about the end of the race as he really gets loose off corner number 4 there.
Should be seeing pit stops pretty soon from here on out. I'm not. Oh, Chuck Sweeting's coming in, so this could be an indicator that drivers are going to be popping in right now. There was a battle for third place. Samasso got it over Tate Lytle, so Samasso has proven that he is pretty quick here tonight. And Sweeting is the Lone Ranger on pit road after coming in now.
Be interesting to see if Cameron Rich follows him down.
He is.
Which he will.
That was a good call.
I was going to say, I didn't think that Cameron would try and extend that, as Luis Salmaso and Tate Lytle stay out.
Salmasso leads the lap, yep. Surprised none of the 3 OG boys have decided to hit the pits.
Chuck Sweeting is off.
Chad Brown pit road, Rusty Webb, Mike Stevens. Paul Ross is down pit road now. Oh, excuse me, Chad Brown, my bad. Yep. Richard Hines visiting pit road now. Salmasso still leads. He should be visiting pit road here, like right now. Nope, he stays out. So does
someone's gotten the wall.
Thomas. Somebody got the wall, yeah, 22 maybe?
Caution is out, yeah.
Race Clark? No, was he the cause of the caution? Yeah, it was. Race Clark was the cause of the caution. He had a blinking issue.
Oh my goodness.
No blinking issue on my end. Wow, yeah.
Did he get hit or did he just get loose?
He just went off the track like he was going through the dog leg.
I think that was probably loose off corner. Oh my goodness. It was like a tech deck ramp down there. Hit that and flipped it over.
Well, if you've pitted, you're kind of stuck right now. Because the lucky dog is going to go to Chuck Sweeting, and everybody else will be pinned a lap down, so that's going to force them to take a wave around. So Chuck can say, okay, I'm going to come down pit road and take some tires because I'm the lucky dog. But the wave around cars, they can't pit. Johnny Thomas was the biggest loser on pit road because he was just entering pit road when that happened because he slowed down. So we'll have to see how this cycles through. Sweeting's now getting the lucky dog. Drivers are now going on pit road, or at least the leaders are going on pit road.
Well, we heard Paul Ross earlier make a comment that after the first lap, the tires are basically shot, and the guys who had already come down pit road are not going to get the opportunity to start on fresh tires. Not too much, too many more laps on the tires for guys like Cam Rich, only 3 with Chad Brown, or excuse me, Chuck Sweeting with 4. See if that plays a factor here tonight.
Let's reinnovate the rules. The lucky dog car was Chuck Sweeting. He can pit under this caution when pit road opens for him. But the problem is for Cameron Rich, Paul Ross, those drivers who are staying out right now, they can't pit because they're wave around cars. They're electing to take a wave around, and you can't pit as a wave around car.
Well, Chuck Sweeting does come to pit road, so
Yeah, it's a good call.
yeah.
See, Johnny Thomas looks like he still remains on the lead lap regardless of this caution. So, yes, he actually was was speeding, I believe, on pit road, Johnny Thomas, for some kind of reason, but he got the flags cleared. When he came down under the yellow flag and the pit road automatically closes. Gotcha. That was a rightful call on for Johnny Thomas. So he'll still remain on the lead lap. Let's see all this cycle around here. Trying to see if we can get a 1 to go signal this time by to where they can double file it up. Yep. Alright, so everybody's taking a wave around here, such as Paul Ross, Rusty Webb, Dylan Hickey, and Cameron Rich. Luis Salmasso is going to be your current race leader. Second place, Tate Lytle. Third place, Matt Hackathorn. Fourth, Nathan Velez. Rounding out the top 5, David Wilson. Kevin Finn, Levi Zielinski, Mike Stevens, Sam Close, and Chuck Sweeting. The rest of the top 10. Johnny Thomas cycles in 11th. All right, Justin, are coming to you for the green flag. We got some new players up towards the front this time around, probably with the exception of Tate Lytle, who already started third tonight. But about Hackathorn, Velez, and Wilson coming to you.
Yes, sir, and shook it up the field a little bit, but now the cars who were just behind that main battle gonna take over the lead. Luis Almaso gonna drop the hammer there, and we'll take the green flag. A pretty good restart for Luis. Matt Hackthorne and Tate Lytle. Not much of a battle there. Tate will take it.
Still a battle right here. Velez is still...
Oh, contact Kevin Finn and Levi Zielinski go around. Mike Stevens as well in the back of the field. Heavy contact. Cameron Rich, I think, may have been involved. Either that or drove through the grass.
Oh, there was contact with Sweeting and Lafferty.
Yeah, two wrecks really happened there. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That almost looked like Richard Lafferty was none too happy with Chuck Sweeting. Either that or maybe didn't have brakes. Maybe a hardware malfunction.
Oh, it was a hard lick for Cameron, that's for sure.
This is on board with the 8. Richard Lafferty just didn't look like he stopped.
He got hit from, I think that hit came from Sweeting and that ricocheted right into the 63 of Stevens. Oh, Dylan Hickey's hood just popped right off the car.
Yeah, so
Cameron.
Here's Cameron. What a shame. This was 2 fast race cars involved in this one. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Said it just before the broadcast that you didn't want to be in towards the back because stuff like this could happen. And now the guys who were battling for the lead, both the damage.
It wasn't even Cameron's fault either to be back in the back. I mean, that was
And
just a racing ordeal.
Exactly. That's one of the things that can happen in racing like that when you're back towards the back of the field like that. And what a shame. There was another wreck up there too with Kevin Finn and Levi Zielinski. I don't know if we can get a replay of that, but
there was contact between the 2 drivers, that's for sure. Absolutely. All right, let's give the top 5 right here after this, as this caution is settling down here since we're still remaining yellow. Luis Almaso is out front. Tate Lytle in second. Matt Hackathorn in third. Nathan Velez fourth. And Kevin Finn rounding out the top 5. Since we're on the green flag, some drivers elected to stay out. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. Don't go away for more 3-wide Race King Cup Series action.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to 2018 Race King Cup Series playoff action for the 3-Wide Racing League. Luis Salmasso out front. We got the 1-to-go signal, so let's go ahead and reset the field for you. Salmasso's out front. Tate Lytle in second. Matt Hackathorn third. Nathan Velez is in fourth. Kevin Finn coming from the back of the pack all the way up to the top 5. He's made it there. Hopefully he can hang on to it. He's fifth. David Wilson in sixth. Levi Zielinski's in seventh. Sam Close eighth. Thomas is in ninth. Chuck Sweeting rounding off the top 10. And we do got some drivers with some heavy-duty damage. Justin, coming to you.
Yes, sir. So we're going to try that one again. Luis Salmasso going to lead him to the green once again. He is off. Green flag is out, and we are away. Looked like there may have been a small check up there in the back of the field, but everybody makes it through. And Luis Salmasso, a great jump once again. Tate Lytle will retain second, and Nathan Velez around the outside of Matt Hackathorn for third.
Pretty good. How about Hackathorn? Yeah, around Nathan Velez. Wilson's on the very high side. Velez is trying to get a good run on Hackathorn, not going to make the completion. Zielinski still struggling on the bottom side of the racetrack after being right now under attack from Sweeting. Look at Sweeting go diving to the bottom side of the track right underneath that. Hell of a good Ford.
Well, the good thing for Chuck is it's really only rear end damage that he has. Really nothing towards the front, so I don't think it should be too much of an effect.
Something's telling me that 17 car back there, Cameron Rich, is down in horsepower.
I have to imagine so, with how hard of a hit he took.
I'm going to see here. Let's see what kind of RPMs. 6,000, 7,000 RPMs. All right, 9,000. Nope, he's still right there with RPM, so he's not off the pace. That car is certainly going to handle different, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just looks like he's fallen more and more towards the rear, so...
What's going on with Kevin Finn? He was just up there in the top 5, and now ever since he got to the bottom, he's just been slipping back.
Well, he has some good damage, too, from the contact between Levi Zielinski and him as they entered turn 3. Once again, I mean, 2 wrecks happened at the same time there, basically, and it almost looked like that last one, Levi just kind of missed the braking point or something like that, just got into the rear end. See a pretty good amount of front end damage on that 14.
Kevin Finn's got to be down on horsepower, I think. I would believe. You got to run Sam Close there for a minute. Nope, he's still on track because he's running 9,000 RPM, so it's not the damage that's slowing him down. Just probably got into the wrong line. How about Levi Zielinski here, still trying to escape Chuck Sweeting.
It's quite the hornet's nest they have back
All right.
there.
Actually, I still think... I mean, he's still turned 9,000 RPM, but he's just not gaining any positions on anybody.
It could be some sort of suspension damage as well. Maybe that car just not handling as well as it once was.
Let's see here if any of these drivers that are surrounding him made a pit stop this last time by. That could really tell the difference.
Sam close, and Levi Zielinski really close off corner number 2 there. Chuck Sweeting going to take advantage of that underneath the 59 Ford there.
The only ones that took a pit stop under this last caution was Sweeting and Paul Ross, as we got some pretty good action going on.
Chuck just about still up in front, caught that race car, saw it was pushing up there. That's the battle for 7th you're watching right now.
Tate Lytle got the late race lead from Salmasso there, so Tate's now out front.
And Matt Hackathorn trying to get by Luis Salmasso now for 2nd.
Definitely some new players up towards the front. Sam Close still not out of this ball game. How about Chuck Sweeting and Johnny Thomas going at it right now? Now Sweeting's on the bottom. Sweeting has not been able to get by Zielinski. Oh, contact between the 18 of Ross. Yeah, it was Ross and Thomas.
And now they'll get side by side into turn 1. Paul Ross to the bottom side. Johnny Thomas up top.
Ooh, Ross really loose on the bottom side of the track there. Just could not keep the horsepower down, otherwise that car would have spun out. Sweeting's going after Zielinski once again. There is a tire difference between the two drivers, except Sweeting cannot get by that 59, excuse me.
He's going to get to the quarter panel once again down the back stretch. Going to get even, but just hasn't been able to complete the pass, which trying to make his way up towards the front, kind of hindering his progress. Going to get the edge at the moment. Should clear him, I'd think, in turn 1.
Yeah. Almost. As long as Zielinski keeps doing what he's doing on that high side, he should prevail with them tires. I mean, even though they're older tires, but I do see Sam Close trying to get underneath David Wilson. It looks like he
take that spot.
For sure, Wilson did not get a good run off that corner exit. Mr. VR guy, I like to call him, David Wilson. He does this stuff in virtual reality headset.
As a man who also races VR, it's
You?
definitely an experience change, yep. Man, Chuck is just all over the rear bumper of Levi Zielinski there. He's been battling with him for a number of laps now, basically ever since the green flag has dropped for the last restart. Gonna get a good run down the backstretch, Chuck will. See if he can do anything with it.
I don't know if he's going to be able to get to him. He got to him to the bumper, but you don't want to wreck the guy.
Yeah. It's only lap 75. I don't expect him to run out of patience too quickly here, that being Chuck. "25 laps until the halfway point. We award points.
Oh, yeah, we're coming down to it. That's for sure.
Should this play out, Sam Close is going to get a good number of points here.
Well, that's a good thing. You know, you want them bonus points. He's ahead of his competition right now. Oh, Sweeting in trouble. He hit the wall.
Fall back a number of positions here. See what happens.
Oh, he hit the wall. He got loose. And he just socked the wall, too.
Oh, man. Big overcorrect there, and unfortunately saw that harden the wall.
How about this little
All the
battle?
way back to 10th.
This little battle between Thomas and Ross. Ross trying to go for 7th place, excuse me. There he goes towards the inside. Yep, he's gonna try it. Down on the bottom, side by side. Looks like Ross might easily pass Thomas, unless Thomas is gonna put up a fight. No, he will not.
And that's just another bonus point for Paul. We get closer and closer.
Well, Sam will gain the advantage on points-wise just a little bit, but Paul Ross would still have that a little bit of a lead. So far, Sam would notch off 2 points. So
really,
this
3rd, 4th, and 5th in points.
Mhm.
All right there together. So wouldn't be too much of an advantage for either.
Oh, Levi really
Levi.
loose. Yeah, this is not going to help Sam whatsoever because Levi just got really loose. And now Paul actually got a little low. He's walking up the hill side by side, door to door. Give him a donut to the door.
Paul gonna try and get in there, get by Levi as quickly as possible.
Oh, Paul, he's going to easily get him right here if he can close in that gap.
And Levi's going to get some momentum, but it looks like he'll surrender it to Paul.
Paul now to 6th, Sam Close in 5th. Oh, contact, just a slight contact between Kevin Finn and Johnny Thomas. No harm, no foul. See Chuck Sweeting trying to bounce back now. He's trying to get underneath Kevin Finn back here. That would be a battle for 9th.
And not missing too much up front. Luis Almaso starting to put a little pressure on Tate Lytle there. See if he can make any sort of move there up really high. Should have a lot of momentum as we get back to the front straightaway. Just not going to get to the back bumper. Just quite. See what he can do down the back. Looked like he got a good run out of corner number 2.
Yeah, Thomas is trying just to hang on there. He wants some extra bonus points. I know one driver that's not going to get bonus points here tonight. That's going to be Cameron Rich. He's actually fallen back to 13th. Kevin Finn really taking it pretty aggressively here, trying to battle it with Johnny, despite the heavy damage on the nose of the car. May have a battle for the race lead brewing up, though, because it's down to a 10th.
Be interesting to see how much this hurts Johnny with, or excuse me, hurts Cameron with all these points that these front runners are going to get. See how much closer they get to him.
How about Nathan Velez and Hackathorn going at it right now?
Sir,
Velez having a good night.
To the inside. Hackathorn really high. I didn't think it was going to be able to work up there, but stays even with him.
Oh, Velez took a little bit of a conservative entrance, but he's going to get off on exit aggressively, and he will secure 3rd spot. A textbook pass.
So that moves Velez up to 3rd. Hackthorn back to 4th. Sam Close, top 5. Really?
Now, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, really throughout the field, just all kind of single file for the most part. Some guys trying to get their nose in there, but saw Kevin Finn and Chuck Sweeting battling back there, but Kevin just pulls away down the front stretch.
Yeah, Kevin's able to get up to that back bumper of the A3 of Thomas, and he's just not been able to get by him, really. Thomas has just been kind of maintaining his line, despite some crinkles here and there. He did say he wanted to have a safe race today, just to try to get in. Levi Zielinski's just ahead of these cats, and Finn got up to the back bumper there, couldn't do anything with it. Tell you what, there's a battle brewing up, and we've seen it before here tonight, and it is for 5th place. How about Paul Ross and Sam Close? Now, remember, the last time these two cats were racing with each other, it was that guy in the 18 giving a little bumper tap to his own teammate. Probably not intentionally, but here he goes.
Paul will clear him down the front.
Revenge on your mind, Sam? No, these two guys ain't like that.
Well, I'm sure he'll put that in the memory bank should he be close enough towards the end of the race. But it's far too early to try that.
I didn't want to make enemies between the two guys. I would ask him, would you wreck this guy to win it? Or to advance?
Well, you know, we've heard Tony Stewart say that he'd wreck his mom to win a championship, so.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
We are coming down to it right now here, folks. We got 10 laps until that halfway bonus, which indicates we are halfway done with this event tonight. Lytle is out front, only got a 0.2 of a second lead over Salmaso.
Yeah, those two guys have kind of been nose to tail for the most part. Just Luis hasn't been able to get past him or get much closer than that.
And Paul Ross has already notched up some wins for his 3OG this year. Been the class of the field, but you can't count out Sam and Luis's competitiveness this season at all. But we might have a battle for the race lead maroon up here, Justin.
Yes, sir. Luis got a good run out of 2. See if he can do anything with it into 3. Tries to wind it up on that high side once again. See if he can do anything. Exit to 4 down the front.
Seems like they're pretty even in 3 and 4, but Salmasso's a little stronger as we head down in turn 1 and 2, right? Ooh. Especially right there, almost getting to the back bumper of the 56 of Lytle.
Here we go.
If Lytle wants to hang on to this race lead, he better start using that golf ball on his car and start swinging it. And try to get a hole in 1. Pretty good.
Yeah, Luis loses a little bit off 4, but man, really dives it into turn 1 there.
This halfway bonus is important for these fellas, actually. I mean, not really for the Salmasso and Lytle, but I mean, it's always good to collect some good old bonus points.
Sir, closing down to it. 6 to go. Here at the line now.
6 laps remaining right now until we reach that halfway. Salmasso putting the pressure on Tate. Tate's looking pretty good all night long. He started 3rd, been up there in the top 5 all night.
One thing of note too, Tanner, you mentioned it earlier, Cameron Rich doesn't look like he'll be taking home any bonus points here tonight as Matt Hackthorne heads to pit road early.
Is this a sign of green flag pit stops, Justin? It seems like it. I gotta look at my notes.
What?
You can still go a little further. It looks like we'll get more of them after the halfway part, but I'm sure much of these guys in the top 10 are just trying to collect the bonus points, especially if they're a playoff driver. Jordan Teal, Mike Stevens, Race Clark, all receiving DNFs tonight. All right, 3 laps to go, and it just sounds like that the top 2 drivers have... We've seen them struggling here tonight. Chuck Sweeting still is in 9th place, but he right now he's trying to push a little pressure on Levi Zielinski for a race, so he's okay. But the biggest guy out of that is Cameron Rich, our pole sitter, falling behind now. He's 26 seconds back. He is not up to par, and looks like just behind him, behind the car behind Cameron, is the race leaders. So we're not going to get a caution flag at the halfway at all, so Cameron is not going to get saved here.
And this is probably about the last thing we expected to see here tonight. Racing for the lead with Chuck Sweeting, the 2 guys that were basically with a free ticket to Homestead.
Well, I'll talk about I'll go back to Cameron Rich here in a bit. Right now we got 2 laps to go. We're coming down to the white flag of the halfway point here. And then I'll give you a little discussion about Cameron Rich in the last couple races. So here we go.
Luis tries to wind it up high. See what he can do down the back. Not too much of a run.
Oh boy, Cameron might come into play here. Here goes Luis to the inside.
Oh man, really loose for Luis.
He had to back it off. Otherwise, he was going to lose the handling of that car. Looks like Tate Lytle is going to collect the most bonus points of the night. That is 10 bonus points to Tate. Luis Salmasso, 2nd, will get 9. Nathan Velez with 8 points. Paul Ross, 7. Sam Close with 6. Johnny Thomas with 5. Kevin Finn with 4 points. 3 points, Levi Zielinski. 2 points, Chuck Sweeting. And 1 point goes to David Wilson. That's the top 10.
And just like that, Cameron Rich has been put a lap down here tonight. Both leaders go by.
I must say, we got Johnny Thomas visiting pit road now. Sam Close hitting the pits. Paul Ross hitting the pits.
To be expected, too. Just after the halfway point there. Award points, why not come get fresh tires?
Oh, yeah. And this is going to put a little bit of an advantage right here for some of these cats. If Tate and Luis stay out, and which they will this time by, Nathan Velez stays out. Kevin Finn is going to come in. Levi Zielinski and Chuck Sweeting stay out. All right.
Thomas off pit road. Sam Close as well.
Tate's coming. Luis is coming.
Nathan Velez will stay out.
Velez will get a bonus point.
Almost got the wall there, too. Saw Kevin Finn off pit road there.
Yep, we called that. Just trying to see who else is going to come visiting pit road. We still have Richard Hines, Chuck Sweeting, Nathan Velez. Velez is coming in right now. So this will hand the lead over to Chuck Sweeting, who can go a couple more laps because he actually visited pit road last time by when we were under caution flag. Richard Hines is gonna
He brings
hit
it.
pit road. So I'm only reading Dylan Hickey, Cameron Rich, and Chuck Sweeting that have yet to see pit road. Man, look at the advantage Paul got. Paul's technically right behind Tate. Lytle, that would be for second place, or it would be for the lead if this cycles out.
Exactly where he needed to place himself here. We knew that track position was going to be so key here tonight, and he's going to make up quite a bit there.
Sweeting still stays out. He's getting passed by Sam. Sam's unlapping himself.
So Chuck Sweeting's still out there, should be coming in here pretty soon. Matt Hackthorne would be handed the lead. Came down just a little bit earlier before we awarded points, the halfway point. And Dylan Hickey still needed to come down.
Yeah, Sweeting, like I said, he can stay up for a little while. Hackthorne, actually, he was one of the early pitters during the just before the halfway bonus. So Hackthorne, realistically, is going to get the race lead. As soon as Chuck Sweeting pits.
Tate Lytle getting by Dylan Hickey there. Goes high, out of the way. Paul Ross looking to do the same. They will hunt down Matt Hackthorne now.
Oh, car on the wall, the 8 car. That was Lafferty. He bounced off the wall in turns 3 and 4 there. And so far, we remain green.
Right in front of second place as well. Or what will be second place. Chuck Sweeting really extending out this stay here on the track. 52 laps he's ran so far.
You can go about 60 laps, at least close to it. So Chuck's shown he's got the strength. He must know he has fuel because he hasn't pitted.
Someone just blew up. I think it was Kevin Finn.
No way.
I think Kevin Finn is slow down the back straightaway. I think that engine has expired.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
That just ended his championship hopes.
Yeah, must have been running hot.
Tell you what, that Crown Royal Ford, I sincerely hope he decides to drink responsibly tonight because he will not move on to Homestead.
What a shame. So we'll have to slowly bring it down pit road, not under power.
That's very unfortunate, man. I mean, all that damage eventually just caught up to him.
And I mean, really, with how little cautions we've had, hasn't had a whole lot of time to repair the car, so ultimately that car just started getting more and more hot over time. And eventually the engine expired there.
Trying to see something once. Sweeting's still staying out. He's 56 laps. We're just losing a ton of time. He's down in the back straight. I got the track map pulled up, or the telemetry. See, Lafferty's pitting actually right now, but he's still staying out there. I wonder if Sweeting's setting up for that long run to the finish and expecting this thing to go green.
I'd have to imagine so, but he can't stay out for much longer.
Well,
Even so, I don't think he would make it.
He's made his bed right now. I mean, he ain't clutching it, is he? If he's clutching it, then RPMs will be lower. He'd be in 4th gear, and he'd probably be turning about 2,000, 1,000 RPM. No, he ain't clutching it. He's going about 5,600 in the corners.
I'm guessing he was just really hoping for a caution there. Try and get him all that track position there, but doesn't look like it's going to work out for him. Gotta try something at this point. Really had nothing to lose. Already going to Homestead, so.
Got a battle for 4th brewing up. Paul Ross's tires have actually caught up to him, or are starting to wear out, because fresh tires by about 2 to 3 laps is Luis Amaso.
And he's about ready to make this move on Paul Ross too. Had a lot of momentum.
Oh, Paul!
Straight away. No, that's not going to help. Did a really good job of keeping it out of the wall. Unfortunately, he found the marbles.
He almost pied that wall.
Chuck Sweeting is on pit road now.
About time.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, he's made his bed, but, I mean...
Gotta try something. I mean, he has nothing to lose, so...
Well, he's gonna have what? How many laps of this? How many laps is he gonna have on as the advantage? He's gonna have some guys 22 laps, 14, 16 laps, so he'll be quick out there.
Well, unfortunately, he had already lost a bunch of time for staying out like that, but...
Yep. There's no way you can make it to the end. The driver that's making it to the end right now, or trying to, who surpassed 60 laps, has yet to pit. Cameron Rich, 10th place.
That might be a car who is... He is clutching it. Cameron Rich is clutching.
And he's got a method to his madness that I don't know of. Could be overheating too. That could be. Clutch the cars.
He's clutching pretty early into the corners though, so.
I wish I could see his oil temperature, but I don't have that statistic. All I got is his RPMs. 1900 RPM and clutching it.
I might have a simple solution to find this out. Let me,
Better pull out the calculator, because I ain't pulling one out. I did math already today.
Take this over for a bit, Tanner. I'm going to take a quick look at something.
Alright.
No, his... Taking a look... Had to go to the live stream for that one. He is not overheating. Temps look fine, so... Water temperature is a little concerning.
He has an onboard camera. He's live streaming. All right.
Exactly. So he's in fuel conservation mode at the moment. So.
Neato. And he just smacked the wall at fuel conservation mode. That's for sure. This puts him a lap down.
Just loses him that much speed, you know?
So Hackathorn's coming back up. We're going to have a battle for the lead soon here. Actually, no, we already had a battle for the lead. Tate Lytle passed him. Hackathorn just lost second to Samasso.
He just got the wall again, by the way.
What is that sponsor on Samasso's car? Proper, what does that say? Proper 12, Irish whiskey. Making me thirsty there, Luis.
Not on the job, please.
A lot of these guys are driving some alcohol sponsors tonight. Everyone wants to go drinking.
I know one guy that does.
Me.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Yeah, but Mountain Dew production truck ain't alcohol. I mean, I could go for a nice good beer.
I mean, it could be. Mix it with some fun stuff. I'm not sure how good it would taste, but, you know.
I could drink on the job.
But we prefer for you not to. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Carlos is rubbing it in. All right. Well, let's rehash this out since we have a lot going on. Tate Lytle is leading. He's got about 4/10 of a lead with a closing in Salmasso in the 4 car. That Irish whiskey is kicking in. Matt Hackathorn, who was the earliest pit guys, he stayed out, gained that track position, but now he's kind of losing it. Now soon to be lost to Paul Ross for 3rd. Holy. Sam Close, 5th. Nathan Velez in 6th. Johnny Thomas in 7th. And David Wilson. I tip my hat to him. Start 21st tonight in 8th.
Absolutely. I saw him a little bit farther in the field, and looks like he's making some moves up towards the front.
Is Cameron pitted yet? Yep, now it's Cameron pitted. 67 laps.
That's pretty impressive. Maybe just trying to see how far he could push it.
Still can't make it to the end. I'm just saying.
Well, you know.
Mathematically, no.
What if he starts saving, like, right off pit road?
He'd be losing a lot of time.
This is true. But he'd make it.
He could. He ain't gonna win it.
Well, you know.
He needs a lot to happen to, you know, to really get back on the lead lap and start fixing up that car.
I think at this point he's got enough points that I don't think it should be too much of a worry.
Right.
And I think that's probably what he's gonna have to bank on here. Didn't think, like I said, didn't think he'd be put in this position, but knew that. At least I knew that if he got towards the back there, this could be a possibility.
Oh, we got a battle for the lead brewing up here.
Sir. Cameron's been watching that the whole time. On board here with Luis Salmasso.
Salmasso closes in on exit. Look at this run he's got, but oh, he almost hit the wall trying to doing it too. Salmasso using up the bottom. Lytle's trying to use that middle lane. So I'm seeing 2 different lines being used. It's crazy. Salmasso's on the bottom in 1 and 2. Now he's high in 3 and 4. He's going to diamond it. Does not get a good run on him this time around.
These guys, I mean, have just been nose to tail ever since that last restart. Just haven't been able to get away from each other. Tate got a little loose off of 2. Tiny wiggle. Didn't seem like Luis was able to capitalize too much.
No, not yet.
Just a little bit behind this battle is Paul Ross. Looking pretty good so far. One of his closest competitors, Kevin Finn, unfortunately had that engine expire, so now all he's really worrying about is Johnny Thomas and, of course, Sam Close up to 6th. even with all the times hitting the wall. Doesn't seem like it slowed that car down much.
We'll take the reins here, Justin. I gotta check something here. I'm curious of something here as far as strategy. Give me a couple of seconds here.
Give you a few seconds. Well, Luis Almaso going to try and wind it up on that high side once again on board here with the 56 of Tate Lytle. Didn't seem like it paid off for him too much there. Not much gain down the front. Tate going to get out of the rubber just a little bit through 1 and 2. Up into the gray a little bit. It's still just about even down that back straightaway. Checking through the field here just a little bit. And I mean, not too much battling going on. This guy's just about halfway through a fuel run, so. Next stop, they should be able to make it, so. This next stop will most likely be the final pit stop of the race as Luis Almaso gets a little bit closer as they enter turn 3. Really up towards that wall. And pull about even down the front stretch now. There's Johnny Thomas in 7th. Would be 1 spot out of the cutoff point, or on the outside looking in, with Kevin Finn expiring.
Yeah, the way it's looking, it's going to be Paul Ross at the moment, but I was just calculating some fuel numbers here, doing some math homework, and nobody can make it. If they pit now, they'd be able to make it to the end. But when Cameron Rich pitted, it was 75 laps, and we've never seen anybody go through that before. So this last pit stop for every single driver, if you're on the lead lap, it's got to count.
Gonna be the money stop, that's for sure. Only 10 cars on the lead lap. That's
Richard Hines.
impressive.
Yes, sir. Richard Hines, 10th place. Rusty Webb. Cameron Rich is 2 laps down now. This strategy is no more. I mean, obviously, he realistically has nothing to lose. He's in the championship 4, but he's still clutching it. My question to you, Justin, is with Cameron Rich having an off race today, now you have to understand, this round of 6 has not been kind to Cameron Rich. If you're Cameron Rich, are you concerned for Homestead?
I don't think so, because had a pretty good race at Chicagoland. I believe he finished 2nd. Could be wrong, but
finished 12th.
Oh, man, where was my mind? But he's been so strong on the 1.5 miles. He just hasn't been able to close out a championship yet, and Homestead could be the race, but only fighting 3 cars, so.
Well, yeah, excuse me. I take that back. I'm sorry. You're correct, Justin. He finished 2nd place, 46 laps led. He finished 12th at Texas. So, yeah, the round of 6 has treated him pretty good. I mean, all season it has been. His one-off 1.5 mile track was Texas. So, yeah, you guys, you got me beat. Sorry. Not yet.
Production truck asking the important questions there.
So when is Sal Masso going to get this race lead? Because he's just been putting that pressure on. I got fresher tires than you, but I can't get by you. What's going on here? And right now he's starting to put a little pressure on. They're going to lap for the 3rd time tonight. Cameron Rich. Paul Ross is 2 seconds behind this fiasco. Now, the guy to watch for when it comes to green flag pit stops is going to be Paul Ross, because if he, sneaks into pit road, and while these 2 cats still stay out, he's going to gain the race lead.
Yes, and at this point, everybody can make it. So.
Yep.
Kind of the question now: when do you come to pit road?
As long as it's before the leaders. If I was Paul, trying to gain that.
Exactly.
Oh, Cameron Rich into the wall.
Tough night. Yeah, that's about probably his third or fourth time pulling something like that, just into the wall. See if he's still.
Kevin Finn, very disappointed in his run tonight, and I don't know what else to say about that. As championship hopes just went up in smoke. I wonder, is he in Discord here? He is not anymore. Otherwise, I probably would have caught maybe a quick interview with him. Battle for the lead. Samasso and Lytle going right at it.
Probably about the closest Samasso's been in a while.
He's been all over that back bumper of the 56, just trying to gain on that race lead. He just has not been able to successfully complete the pass.
It's almost what we saw with the last two leaders, Cameron Rich and Chuck Sweeting, just kind of running nose to tail as Matt Hackathorn will bring it to pit road. Came a little bit early last time. He's off pit road here.
Yeah, he did. He brought it in and he gained that track position, but he eventually lost it as time went on. Samasso going for it again on the bottom. Cannot make it.
Why, even with 55 laps to go, I still don't feel like Samasso's pushing it as hard as he needs to. Obviously, still got a long way in this race to go. So, as we get closer to the checkered flag, I expect him to start getting that much more.
Rusty Webb hitting pit road.
That much more aggressive.
The production truck got me. Trying to see if I'm still circling that 18 car to see him in pit road. I'm gonna give him the next 5 laps, 5 to 7 laps. He'll be in.
Yeah, I'm guessing, like you said, 5 laps. That'll be 51 laps on his tires, and that's about where we've seen everybody come down. So
I'm calling it right now. He'll be in anywhere from 5 to 7 laps. Paul Ross.
I like it. I don't know about 7, but
if I'm right about this, it would just go to show that I know about these guys.
I'm going to guess 4 laps here.
All right.
Either way, I definitely feel like Paul's going to try and undercut these guys.
He's in! I figured it, but yeah,
right.
you were the closer one. You called 4 laps.
So that was 47 laps on that run. So should expect to see these leaders come down. Man, Luis Samasso right on the bumper of Tate Lytle here. Not sure if lap cars played a factor in all that.
I don't know.
When do these guys come down? I think
right now? No.
Nope.
None of them. They just lost. They at least lost a little time already just by staying on just 1 lap. We call that. Sam Close, pit road. Good indication on Sam's part. What a comeback for him. Almost contact between the leaders, and Salmasa almost got ran over from Hickey. Hickey's fault, but it was
close out there.
Yeah.
Salmasso gonna dive it up high once again. What can you do on the exit?
Velez, pit road. Thomas stays out. Now, this is a mistake, fellas. I'm sorry. But with Paul Ross taking it to pit road, I don't know. You've already...
here comes Salmasso.
All right. And now Lytle stays out. Lytle's got to come in next time by if he's going to compete and stick with Salmasso.
A pretty big undercut for Paul Ross there. But this lead will be given to Matt Hackathorn as he came in a little earlier. Paul Ross not too far behind him, though.
No, he ain't. I'm just curious if Lytle's going to bring it down pit road now. He most certainly will. He's following the same foot tracks as Salmasso now. Yeah, as soon as he's seen Salmasso hit the pit road, he's coming down.
I'd like to point out something, though, with we were talking earlier about how cars could, the cars that can make it to the end. I'm pretty sure Cameron Rich, ever since he came off pit road, Tanner, I kind of jokingly said this, but I think he's been clutching it this whole way around the racetrack. Ever since he came off pit road. I noticed 15 laps into his run, he was clutching it. I think he's going to try and make it to the end.
That's the way it's looking. And I mean, if he can save 67 laps just on that one run, and he's clutching it as soon as he gets out of pit road, I mean, just imagine how much he can already save.
I mean, like I said, I was joking about that, but obviously he was taking me seriously.
It is a method to his madness. We'll see how well it will work out with Cameron Rich, because he is 3 laps down. And he's right next to the outside wall in 1 and 2, but does not touch it. Johnny Thomas has stayed out there on the racetrack. Chuck Sweeting is still staying out there.
And Chuck can go at least 10 more laps, only 38 laps on this run.
How long has he been out there now?
38 laps so far on this stint.
38 laps? Oh yeah, he can go maybe 10, I'd say anywhere from 10 to 13 more laps, so he'll be out there for a little while yet. Johnny Thomas should be bringing it down fairly soon. Paul Ross actually has a huge advantage. I shouldn't say huge advantage, about 2 seconds over Luis Salmasso and Tate Lytle.
Either way, I still like the call from Paul Ross. 3 laps more on his tires than Salmasso just behind, but man, Tate Lytle and Luis Salmasso really cutting through traffic at the moment. Just can't get away from each other tonight.
No, they cannot. They've been battling, and Salmasso, the reason why he's ahead of Tate Lytle is just because that Salmasso pitted. The next time by, Tate Lytle pitted, and that's the difference. Look at Paul Ross's difference, though, by pitting 3 laps earlier. That's cut down to, I'm seeing 3.5 seconds now.
And, yeah. Paul Ross, just about there. I'm at Hackathorn.
He is. That'll be a battle for 3rd place. Johnny Thomas, I am seeing a method to his madness. A caution flag. If a caution flag comes out, it's going to put him as the race leader.
And, I mean, that's a pretty big gamble for Johnny. With only 8 cars left on the lead lap. 57 laps. So far, he stayed out, and now he will bring it down. So the gamble did not pay off. So that will hand over the race lead to Chuck Sweeting. Should be able to stay out at least another 10 laps, I'm going to bet.
Oh, man. Paul is getting all over that back bumper of that 44 car. Here he comes. Some fresh tires are going to work out. Hackthorne's going to do everything he can. Paul looked like he slipped up a little bit, but he'll have the fresher grip to get off the corner.
And he'll need to make this pass pretty quickly here. Doesn't want to have to lose too much time.
No.
He starts getting to battling. Luis Salmasso is not too far behind. Going to get to the door of the 44. And basically has him cleared. I'm sure he'll send it into turn 1 here.
Yep, that would be a battle for 2nd place on board, as Johnny Thomas did make a pit stop. Chuck Sweeting's going to be out there for a little while. This is not good for Paul to continuously battle with the 44 car, because he's already lost time. He's got him cleared now. Separation between Paul and Salmasso is about 2.3 to 2.5 seconds, 2.5 seconds.
Either way, if Paul can stay up front, it's going to be a win-win for him. Whether he wins the race or he, maybe falls back 2 positions with Salmasso and Lytle, still basically a ticket to Homestead should it stay like this.
You can never count out Paul Ross at any given time. Past series champion of the Cup Series. He's shown his strength. this season, and he's got a couple of wins under his belt.
3 wins on the season, so.
Chuck Sweeting now has just lost about 2.5 seconds to Paul Ross. Even though Sweeting can probably stay out. Actually, we've seen the longest 67 laps, so if he chooses to, Sweeting can just stay out for a while.
Had a car smoking on pit road. It was 59 of Levi Zielinski, so.
Not good.
Not a good night for Levi.
Let's do lap time differentials between first and second place, since Paul Ross is gaining on Chuck Sweeting. Last time by at the line, Chuck Sweeting 28.674. Paul Ross 27.917. That's about what? Right now it's a 29.2 compared to a 27.8. Oh, well over 2 seconds, or well over a second and a half. A lap.
Well, don't look now. Luis Almazo and Tate Lytle, or at least Luis has caught the back bumper, 44 of Matt Hackthorne, looking to go by pretty quickly here.
Almazo, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say again, doesn't want to have to lose too much time here, as he's pretty quickly closing in on Paul Ross too. So, not sure how much Paul will be able to hold on here. 34 laps to go.
He's going to close it in, but it's just a matter of getting around him, because we've seen with Sal Massel trying to get around Lytle.
Man, both those cars right up towards the wall. Man, almost got contact with the 56 there, Tate Lytle.
This is not good for between Tate and Luis, because if they're having a hard time getting around the 44, this is not good.
Losing time.
Yeah. Losing a lot of time.
To the inside, Luis goes, and will clear the 44.
Luis will clear. Now it's up to the 56. 56 will battle side by side, possibly, and
little contact.
That could have been big.
Dead even as they went into one, and Lytle will clear him.
Lytle wanted to get by that 44 car a lot quicker than Salmasso did, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Salmasso looked like he was just trying to take his time, not to run over the 44.
Chuck Sweeting's still out there. My bet was him coming down this next time by, so.
It's less than 2 seconds. It's down, knocked down to...
Oh, he's really losing to turn one. Just about lost it.
This is down to a second now between first and second, Sweeting and Ross.
Lost all of his time there, and obviously he cannot make it to the end, so when will he come down is the question.
He's got to be coming down soon. I mean, Ross he's made his bed. He's going to be staying out the rest of this race. Now Ross is up to that back bumper.
Yeah, he already has a ticket to Homestead. Chuck Sweeting does, so nothing to lose in this situation. Paul going to go to the inside and easily clear him, so move Paul Ross to the race lead.
Ross to the race lead.
Cam and Rich going to go 4 laps down here. Still clutching it around this racetrack, I think. Let me double check.
There's no way.
Yes, he is. He's still clutching it. Again, I made that joke as Chuck Sweeting gets the wall there a little bit. I made the joke about coming out of pit road and just clutching it, see what you can do. He must have been listening or something, because he took me seriously.
Just whatever you do, guys, when it comes to Justin Kolb, don't make contact with him after a race.
I felt the worst for Johnny in that situation.
I was just gonna say, Johnny was the innocent bystander.
Yeah.
You never know if anybody's gonna be in front of Justin. But look at Tate Lytle putting that pressure on Luis here. Now this part is shrinking between Lytle and Luis as these cats battle.
Man, they got really close there between Luis and Tate Lytle there.
Yep, this is about a second and a half now. I'm a little more than that. 2 seconds. 2 seconds even from between Luis and Tate from all the way to Paul Ross. That's 2 second gap. As Luis and Tate continue to battle.
Should those guys get battling side by side, just about secure a win for Paul Ross. Should they, All right, Chuck Sweeting down pit road. And I think he's going to call it a night. He is.
Well, he's got nothing to lose. He's already going to Homestead. He's run for that championship. Now the biggest race right now is, I'm going to say, the top 3 drivers, Ross, Salmasso, and Lytle here at Phoenix. If Lytle continues to battle Salmasso, this time's either going to stay even or they're going to lose time to Ross.
That's also going to be another position, by the way, for Cameron Rich. Will be another point for him.
Cameron Rich.
As Chuck Sweeting starts to go further and further down the board.
Cameron Rich currently 15th, 4 laps down. Just trying to see if the lap times here to see if Luis Salmasso and Tate Lytle gain on Ross about a 10th that time by for each driver.
"24 laps to go." Settling down here.
Johnny Thomas, fresher tires and all, run faster lap times, but the problem is he's about 20 seconds back. And I can confirm once again, Salmasso and Lytle gained another 10 on Ross. We're going to have about 22 laps to go this time by, as Ross will be coming across the start-finish line here. He's in the middle of 3 and 4. Just got by Rusty Webb, his teammate, over at 3OG Racing. 22 laps to go this time by. Salmasso and Lytle trying to hunt down the race lead. Salmasso faster than the top 3 drivers. Gained 2/10 on Ross. Tate Lytle remained about the same. That is the story right now. Sam Close, who is a championship contender, in 6th place, 9 seconds back. Might have a shot to go for a top 5 finish, as just ahead of him is going to be Nathan Velez. We'll continue to watch out for that as this race progresses. Johnny Thomas, another championship contender, but he's 20 seconds back by himself. Currently in 7th place. Again, Luis Salmasso gains a 10th. Tate Lytle doesn't gain anything on Ross.
All right. Getting to it. 20 laps to go, and not to knock on wood, but said at the top of the show, I think Paul Ross needed to come out here and shoot for that victory. And that's what he's doing right now. He's got his teammate closing in on him pretty quick, but this is exactly what you needed to do because you didn't know. It was the uncertainty of could another guy get the win and knock you out. Well, Paul Ross looking to go to Homestead in style here.
It's going to go in style indeed. It's going to be a fun championship battle to watch because the way it's looking right now, folks, the championship it will be Cameron Rich, Chuck Sweeting, and Paul Ross. That is so far the unofficial current results of the championship at Homestead.
I think the real story is going to be whether Cameron Rich can make it 80 laps on fuel here. 52 laps so far, 18 to go. Can he make it to the end? He's really got no one he's battling, so first car 4 laps down.
Boy,
Chuck Sweeting just behind him out of the race.
Boy, the cat that's really moving forward at it is hunting down Ross as Ross just caught traffic on Dylan Hickey.
Oh, some off on the wall.
On the wall. That ain't good. That will lose you some time. He got it down to about a 1.1 seconds. He will lose time this time around. It'll be 1.2, so only lost a 10th. But Lytle gained drastically. Something had to have happened because Lytle was 1.8, 1.7, and dropped it down to a 1.3 seconds behind Ross.
Well, these two get battling. It's almost going to secure it. A little contact between Salmaso and Lytle there.
Just a fender bender.
How much does Tate Lytle want this second spot? It's going to be the question.
Oh, he wants it. I mean, he's just racing for honor. Both drivers are technically racing for honor. They're not. Salmaso's not a playoff contender no more, but he still would like to go out and win races and be competitive. As a little bit of a holdup from a lap car, that's okay because both drivers are driving different grooves. Looks like Salmaso is driving a little harder than usual. They're just trying to focus and trying to gain on Ross because they have 15 laps to do it.
There's your leader, Paul Ross, 1.6 seconds ahead at the moment. Gonna put Cameron Rich 5 laps down here. He's still trying to clutch it around the racetrack as he does get by. Tell you what, I'll be pretty impressed should Cameron make it all the way to the end here. Now Salmaso and Lytle will get by the 17.
Don't make contact. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Cameron Rich hard into the wall there. A little loose into 3. Coming to 13 to go. Oh man, Dylan Hickey hard into the wall back there.
Oh no.
Just about hammered the wall. He'll get by Cameron Rich there.
Now, with Dylan Hickey, if he would have hit that inside wall, that would have been a caution flag.
For sure.
There isn't really
on board with Cameron Rich here. Sorry to cut you off, Tanner, but I want you to listen how far before the corner he's clutching it. Take a ride with him down the backstretch here and see if he does it in the 3. And he's not clutching it anymore, it doesn't sound like. Well,
yeah,
now he does. Before, I mean, he was clutching it so early into the corner. See if he does it here on the front stretch. He does. Right when the camera cuts away too. Dang.
Carlos is operating everything in Kentucky.
Salmaso has lost second place here. He's back to 3rd. Tate Lytle's taking over 2nd spot. Yeah, absolutely.
We were
lost
watching
a bunch of time.
We were watching Cameron Rich, and something happened during that whole time stage there. I wasn't even paying attention to the whole ordeal. What happened was that there was some bumper-to-bumper contact, slight contact between Lytle and Salmaso. I got Salmaso really loose on entrance, went for a slide, went up the hill almost to the outside wall. As so Salmaso got pretty much like a bumper push there, a little help from Lytle, moved him up the hill. Lytle to 2nd, Salmaso to 3rd. Now Ross has got to hold on for about 9 laps now, 8.5.
Man, just taking a look at that replay, Salmaso did a heck of a job keeping that car under him.
He did. He did a very good job, man. I thought that could have been a lot worse.
We'll have to see if Tate Lytle has anything for Paul Ross. 9 laps to go.
8.
8, excuse me.
8 to go here.
5 laps to go. We will not be going racing once again.
Yes. Hi, racing. Green, white, checkered. That's probably a tough thing to do. With all the coding that's involved.
Also, we do not do 1-lap shootouts in three-wide racing.
Have you been drinking?
Man, I don't. The tongue twister, you know?
Yeah, I know. I know how it feels, man. All right. It notched at last time at the line, a 2.5 between Lytle and Ross. Ross so far just has to hang on for 6 more laps. Problem is, he's catching traffic. 1.6. Paul Ross gained a tenth that last lap.
He's in good shape at the moment.
He just needs to pass this start-finish line right here. 5 laps to go. That pretty much would secure that the caution should waive. I mean, he'll be the race winner, and so it does.
Just has to negotiate some lap traffic here. Got to get by the 8 of Richard Lafferty, 39 of David Wilson. Shouldn't put up much of a fight. Lafferty gets out of the way.
Time differential was about the same last time by.
Just has to get by David Wilson, who is on the lead lap, so see how much of a fight he puts up. 4 laps to go.
Even getting by Richard Lafferty for Ross, he still maintained 1.6 seconds over Tate Lytle. 4 remaining, 4 laps to go here. Coming to 3 to go this time by. Since Lytle is not drastically gaining on Ross, Ross has got it locked up.
Yeah. Just has to make it 3 more miles. And just about. Feel that Homestead Miami sand between his toes here.
Paul Ross hasn't won a championship yet ever since the 3-Wide Racing League has came to iRacing. I mean, as for my knowledge is concerned, at least on the Cup Series standpoint. But he's proven that he is a championship contender no matter what series he is driving. He is contending for a championship, I believe, in the trucks, the Nathan Young Designs Truck Series, as well as the RaceKings Cup Series. 1.5 seconds is the differential between Lytle and Ross. Does not look like Lytle's going to get there. Ross has just got to complete 1 mile and bring it home so he can compete for another Cup Championship at Homestead.
Came in 11 points to the good tonight. Wanted to make sure that he was going to be good. Undercut the 4 and the 56th on pit road. Some different strategy. Through 3 and 4. Oh, is Cameron Rich out of fuel?
I don't know, but through turns 3 and 4, off of turn 4, Paul Ross is a Cup contender again. He will go to Homestead to fight for the championship and a win here at Phoenix. Tate Lytle in second. I do believe Cameron Rich may have ran out of gas on that last lap, and he sure did. He's out of fuel. That
68 laps.
68 laps. What a whale of a win. Paul Ross sought some damage early in the race, but kept on ticking. He has now punched his ticket to Homestead, and he will fight for another Cup Series championship. For Paul Ross, what a heck of a driver he is. He is a veteran of the 3-Wide Racing League. Been a privilege to be racing with him since practically the inaugural season of 3-Wide, as he burns it down in the desert. As it's already hot enough out here. All right, with that being said, we'll let Paul burn it down right now. So let's go ahead. Is it all right to bring up third place here? All right, let's go ahead and bring up third place, Luis Salmasso. Luis Salmasso, you do 3-Wide TV, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, Luis, you had a whale of a run today here at Phoenix, and you still did throughout the remainder of the race. Tell us about that contact late in the race with Tate Lytle, and also speak about the race overall.
There's nothing to tell. My teammate fucked me up like a couple laps before, saying that he was going to stay out of the way. He didn't. So I had to move into the inside and hit the wall, and then my race was done. So I'm heading out. Thanks, guys.
All right, well, you heard from Luis Salmasso, very frustrated right now, but hopefully all that gets taken care of in the near future. Justin Kolb, you've caught up with Tate Lytle right now. I got to find Tate.
I was going to say, I don't think Tate's quite in here yet.
Nope. So we can't interview Tate Lytle, so let's just skip second place. Justin, I'm going to give you the race winner, Paul Ross.
All right.
This round before.
Oh, sorry about that, Paul.
Oh,
You got a
you're
copy?
good. Yes, I do.
All right, well, talked to you before the race, and you said that you wanted to come out here and win. Did exactly that. Punched your ticket to Homestead, Miami in style.
Yeah, early on I got into Sam on that first run and felt horrible about that, but got a little bit of damage in that same run, about 30 seconds worth, and then first pit stops happened and the caution came out right afterwards, so we had to take the wave around, restarted about 13th, and a couple laps into that run there was a caution. I had all 4 wheels locked up trying to avoid it, and luckily we did, and we got the damage fixed and restarted about 10th, and those last 2 runs just drove it through the field. Took advantage of fresh tires on the last one, and we were able to hold Luis and paid off.
Absolutely, and we were talking up here in the booth when we were getting close to that final pit stop. We knew an undercut was coming, and it seems like that's what won you this race, pitting about 3 laps before Tate and Luis there.
Yeah, the first run, they pit about 3 to 4 laps after I did, and the last, I don't know, 10 to 15 laps or so, I was hanging with them. They were a couple seconds out on me, but they still weren't pulling me, and I figured if I could short pit them, try to get about a 3 to 4 second lead on them, the tires should have stabilized, and luckily they did.
All right, well, as we said, punched your ticket in style. You get to race for a championship here against Chuck Sweeting and Cameron Rich. What do you got to do at Homestead to lock it up, man?
Honestly, I think win. Chuck and Cam, they've been the class of the field all season. They've just been so fast. If it doesn't come down to us winning, it's going to have to come down to a misfortune on their end. But hopefully we can all battle it out and come home champion at the end of this thing.
All right, well, the win here tonight. Moving on to Homestead, who do you have to thank for this performance tonight?
First and foremost, Corey Lindsay for putting this league on, putting it together. I've been privileged enough to be in the league since 2011 in its inaugural season. Between all the behind-the-scenes stuff, you know, the rule books, he stepped out of driving to officiate for us. Just everything he does. And then second, my teammates with Sam and Luis and everybody, Rusty, we've been able to really improve our performance this season compared to the last couple. And you know, I've never even made it into the round of 6. So to be going to Homestead, it feels really good.
All right, Paul. Well, congratulations. Like you said, punch your ticket in style. You get to race for a championship next week. We wish you the best of luck, and I'm sure we'll talk to you at Homestead.
Right. Thank you, guys, and thanks for broadcasting all these races for us. They're fun to go back and watch.
Absolutely. This one should be a fun one, too. All right, that's Paul Ross. Tanner, I believe you've caught up with Tate Lytle.
I've caught up with Tate Lytle, indeed, who finished second place tonight. Tail, first off, congratulations on the whale of a run. You started third. You practically stayed in the top 5 majority of the race here tonight. Finished in the second spot. Tell me about it, man. It seemed like the car was okay handling on times, but a little loose. And then you made a little contact there with Luis there towards the end. It was probably unintentional in my opinion, the way it looked. But nonetheless, you had a great finish.
Yeah, it was a fun race. It was the first time I've been disappointed with, second or third place in the Cup Series, but it was a fun race. I'm not sure how Paul was able to speed up on those old tires, but man, he was wheeling it.
He most certainly was, and how were the tires out there? Because the way it looked and the way it sounded, it was absolutely dreadful for you guys out there, as the tires would probably go away after a lap. We have already seen about 2 to 3 lap differences on tires. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was, once you got about 20 laps on the tires, you had to really wait on turn 2. Couldn't press it real hard. The first 2 or 3 laps you could, but after that, you really just had to take care of them. The second run, I did really good saving the tires, was able to keep the lead, but Luis and Paul were a little quicker on the longer run, and then I got into Luis there. He kind of came down and blocked, and I was going to charge the corner thinking he was going to the top, and I got into him a little bit, glad I didn't wipe him out.
Yeah, and now are you going to be driving the 56 next week in Homestead? And if so, how do you feel about your chances to maybe try to go out with a good momentum like you have been going on and try to get a good victory at Homestead?
I mean, if I'm going to feel confident at a track, it's going to be Homestead. In the DD series earlier in the year, I led like 78 out of 80 laps and won it there. So hopefully I can take that momentum and do the same next.
All right, Tate. Well, congratulations on a podium finish here tonight. Second place. It's a great finish, even though it's not a win, but it's still heavy momentum for you to go to Homestead and try to capture a victory there. Congratulations on the night, and we will see you next week at Homestead, Miami.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for broadcasting. It's always fun. Thank you.
That was Tate Lyle finishing second here tonight. And Justin, what do you say? Time to wrap her up. All right, let's wrap her up here, folks. Unofficial race results. Paul Ross gets to win here tonight. Tate Lytle will finish in second place. Luis Salmaso in third. Matt Hackathorn in fourth. Nathan Velez in fifth. Samuel Close will finish in sixth. Johnny Thomas in seventh. David Wilson in ninth. And rounding out the top 10, or actually ninth is Richard Hines. Excuse me, Wilson is in eighth. Rounding out the top 10 is Rusty Webb there, Justin.
Yes, sir. Chad Brown going to come home in the 11th position here tonight. Dylan Hickey will come home in 12th. Richard Lafferty 13th. Cameron Rich, kind of shockingly, in 14th here tonight. Possibly had a race-winning car, along with Chuck Sweeting there in 15th. Just didn't quite play out for those guys like they wanted it to. Levi Zielinski going to come home in 16th here tonight. Kevin Finn in 17th. Mike Stevens 18th. Race Clark in 19th after a sick 180 he did through the infield on the backstretch. And Tate Lytle going to come home in 20th.
Blackjack position tonight. Wade Lear is going to finish 21st. 22nd, Nick Miller. And Todd Smith rounds it out in 23rd. And Corey Lindsay was up there in the officiating booth. Well, folks, the unofficial championship contenders at Homestead Miami Speedway, one of these three drivers will win the championship. It's come down to Cameron Rich, Chuck Sweeting, and Paul Ross. One of those three guys will win the championship next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. You don't want to miss this event. This is going to be an awesome event next week. It's the season finale. I can't wait to call it. It's been an awesome season so far up here with Justin and working with also Carlos Acosta. So please join us next week, Monday night, November 5th, 2018, 133 laps at Homestead Miami as we conclude the 2018 Race King Cup Series playoffs. And also, we got to give our thanks to RaceKings. Thank you for sponsoring the series. Hopefully, those guys will be back next season. I'm really looking forward to if they do. And as well, we also have a poll award to give out as well. Good job on cameras for getting that. Justin, what's that poll award?
That is the Drive for Suicide Prevention Poll Award. Cameron Rich was the receiver of that. So thank you to Drive for Suicide Prevention for sponsoring that poll award. And also want to give a shout out to Track Cams for Gourmet. You can find more information or download the pack at www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams, and Thomas Morris from OCR TV for the graphics package you saw here tonight.
And of course, we got thanks to the organizers of 3 Wide Racing and its race officials, Corey Lindsay, and also its drivers that participate in all these events. And thanks to the team tonight, Justin and Carlos. They do a phenomenal job every single week, every time we do this broadcast for 3 Wide. And we look forward to maybe making some more in the future, except I will be in the Cup Series, and maybe we'll start something with on Sundays. We'll see. Nothing's concluded just yet. But hey, it's been a fun, wild ride, and we got one more to go, boys. So hopefully we can call it right down the middle and have a good one. So I'm Tanner Sharp. Justin Kolb, Carlos Costa. We'll see you next week at Homestead Miami for the championship.